The question we ask today is, should you move to Sibley, Iowa? Well, only you can answer that. This man has lived in Sibley, Iowa his whole life. He created a website, surprised many readers to learn that he really does enjoy living there. However, there is a blood plant. It is an animal processing plant that receives financial assistance from the Iowa Economic Development Authority, according to this gentleman, and it smells terrible. It basically, he says it smells like rancid animal, the whole town. So he put up this website, and it has some things about stuff going for it, and some things about stuff against it. And this gentleman, he was opinionated enough to put up a whole website about it. This is the gentleman. And it turns out that he has received a lawsuit threat against him from the town complained of in that website. Okay? However, threatening people with lawsuits is often enough to get certain lawyers' attention, and when you threaten people with lawsuits for things that they've done in free speech, you often get the ire of the American Civil Liberties Union. So, without further ado, I present to you the lawsuit of Joshua Harms versus the city of Sibley, Iowa. This civil rights suit seeks to protect the right to engage in core political speech at the heart of the First Amendment. Plaintiff Joshua Harms, a lifelong resident of Sibley, Iowa, who loves his community and wants to see it thrive, is facing a prior restraint on the content of his personal website, ShouldYouMoveToSibleyIA.com, as well as unconstitutional retaliation for his criticism of the city of Sibley, Iowa, and its municipal government. Like many small Iowa towns, Sibley has struggled to maintain its population, and most crucially to attract enough well-paying jobs to retain its younger population. To help remedy this problem, in 2013, Sibley used tax breaks to lure the Iowa drying and processing plant to move its operations to Sibley. While fortunately IDP employs 26 individuals, unfortunately it comes with a pungent and foul odor that has been the subject of numerous nuisance citations and of protracted litigation between IDP and Sibley. Frustrated by IDP's odors and Sibley's inability to adequately control the problem, Harms created his website. His goals were to inform the public of the ongoing problem, to criticize the inaction of Sibley and its officials, and to spur on his municipal government to financially take action to rein in the odors. Eventually, thanks mostly to Facebook shares, the website went viral by Sibley standards with over 2,000 visits in a matter of days. Finally drawing the attention of Sibley City Council, over 3 years after the creation of the website, Sibley City Administrator and Sibley City Clerk gave a presentation to City Council on Harms' website and the alleged harms it was causing Sibley. Following that presentation, defendants directed its attorneys to issue a cease and desist letter to Harms to get it down by threatening litigation unless he altered or removed his website. Reasonably intimidated, he did. Brazenly, the city's attorneys then further instructed Harms not to speak with the press about their censorship of the website. One of the cornerstones of our constitutional democracy is the right to be free from prior restraint or retaliation for engaging in protected expression like the website Harms posted here. But for Harms, this constitutional right was abused by the very public servants who took an oath to uphold the Constitution. Accordingly, plaintiff seeks damages and declaratory and injunctive relief to enjoin defendants from bringing a retaliatory lawsuit and to enjoin defendants from preventing plaintiff from changing his website and speaking with any reporters interested in speaking with him about his website or the city of Sibley. Aside from that last train wreck of a sentence, it's a fairly straightforward lawsuit. The First Amendment protects your right to the freedom of speech without prior restraint by the government. It doesn't mean that other people can't say things. It doesn't mean that you have the right of free speech in someone's private business, and it doesn't mean you have the right of free speech in all cases. But it does mean that the government cannot put a prior restraint on your speech that doesn't fit into one of a handful of exceptions like safety. For instance, you can't shout fire in a crowded restaurant, something like that. Unless there actually is a fire, you can't shout it. You can't incite panic with your free speech. So if I want to put up a website that says my town sucks, I'm allowed to do that. Are other people in my town allowed to be upset about it? Absolutely. And maybe I want to be cautious about what I say because I'll have to face the people in my town. But the government can't make me take it down. And if they try, you should contact the ACLU because they will come and fight for you in many cases, especially where the case seems like a good case. If not, there are a decent number of First Amendment attorneys that would love to represent in cases like this as well. Thank you very much to all of my supporters. My $50 plus supporters for the month of March are DJ Gilcrease, John Steele, Gavin Bernard, The Godslain, Evie Andy, Kyle Mudrock, John H. Anderson, Vera Montaigne, and Sean McNamara. When I post this VOD, I will have the $5 plus supporters scrolling on the screen. You're also on the LED panel behind me, which I update on the first of every month with all of the supporters who subscribed or supported during the previous month. And that's how Patreon charges you too. So if you start supporting in March, you'll actually be charged on April 1st, and you'll receive your recognition in April. So thank you very much. I am, of course, Leonard French, your favorite copyright attorney.